Welcome to another Founder Wisdom Pod. We have Nikita Vakhrushev with us today. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. He's founder and CEO at ASPEKT. He's creating beautiful and highly converting emails for D2C brands. He's a car enthusiast and a meme connoisseur. ENTJ, so same personality type as myself. I had a guest not so long ago that told me that Enneagrams were bullshit. I was like, yeah, probably, but 80% accurate. So Nikita, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you're up to nowadays.
Yeah. Thanks for the intro, Charles. It's a pleasure to be on. And yeah, those Enneagrams may not be the most accurate thing. I saw, we were talking about memes before this, but I did see a meme where it's like, it's the astrology sign for guys, but
Yeah.
like, at least they're rooted in logic a little bit rather than just, the Jupiter moon is out of alignment this month. So that's why my rent's late. But jokes aside, my name is Nikita. I run email and SMS for e-com brands. So ASPEKT is the agency name. And yeah, we basically help add anywhere between $200 to $400, sometimes even $800,000 a year to our clients' top line through email and SMS marketing. That's all we do. And that's all we've been doing for the last 4 years.
Nice. And how did you get started and how successful are you nowadays compared to day one?
Oh man, when I started off, I had no idea what I was doing. And that has been a series of pivots where I initially started off with a drop shipping, like print on demand drop shipping clothing store, pivoted that into an SEO website agency, and then pivoted into media buying, SEO websites for e-com. And then now in 2021 was the last pivot, which is just email and SMS for e-commerce. And since day one, like I didn't know I'd get this far. I had a little bit of higher hopes of like, I don't know, back in 2017, 2018, when you're just getting into internet marketing, everybody's like, yeah, you just need your first 10 clients and you'll make 10K a month. And, that was fun and all after like the first year happened and I wasn't at 10K a month. So it's been a pretty big successful journey since then, obviously ups and downs. But now we have a team of 6 people under us that are working on the design, the operations, and it feels like an actual business rather than like, oh, I can just make money online. So it's been great.
So did you went from Yaris to Urus?
Not yet. No, I actually did have like a Scion as my first car. Now I have a Porsche, so almost there, but still work in progress to get a Lambo.
Right, your Porsche, it looks like a Cayman, right?
Yeah, it's a 981 Cayman. Fast. It's a stick shift, and back when Porsche still had like the 6-cylinder Caymans.
Very nice. Yeah, I was looking up the GT RS, I believe it's called, right? Like that one is a complete beast.
Yeah,
I think it starts at like 700K or something, and it's like a track beast, right? And the noise it makes, couldn't ride that in my current home country, which is Mexico, right? Like there's way too many potholes. But why are you a car enthusiast? Like a lot of people would view that as superficial, right? And a man thing to do. Why would you have a passion with that?
I think it comes back to like, I want to say childhood. There's no specific moment, but I do know when I was a kid, my mom and like my dad, when we would be driving around, they would make me memorize the logos and like the cars. So I can like call an Audi out, or I can call a Toyota out, or I can call a Mercedes out. And I think that kind of stuck with me as I've been growing older. And I think as I've gotten older, like the relationship for cars, it's almost like a very logical thing to do. I don't know. It's like man likes machine. And again, just like when you're younger, it's like, oh, I like trucks. I like rockets, like firemen, policemen. Like it's like one of those like traditionally masculine upbringings. But it honestly came down to just like how cars look, the performance, and the fact that you can just buy it if you had enough money. Like there's nothing stopping you from doing this specific thing. Whereas like, oh, you want to go to the Oscars, you kind of have to be a celebrity and be invited out. And it's like a secondary thing to being like a movie actor or something like that. Whereas with cars, it's pretty like simple where, okay, I just need to buy it. Okay, if I need to take care of it, it's usually just this issue. And it comes down to troubleshooting, similar to how you would troubleshoot like a broken automation or something, or like a broken email. It's pretty simple of just working through like the flow chart of decisions. And it's kind of fun. Like the noises they make is great. And the attention is nice of like, hey, like you have this nice car. And it's also like a nice physical memento of like, hey, I achieved this status. Like this is like a physical manifestation of how I achieved that status. So I have like that deeper connection to cars rather than like watches or jewelry or clothing.
Yeah, I love that. I think a lot of people have become cynical nowadays and they're quite jealous, right? So, what most people don't realize and why most people don't have these cars sitting in their driveways is that you need to hustle and work very hard to get there. You need to work smart, of course, but yeah, it's a very long mountain to climb, right? And once you get on top, you need a recompense, you need a reward. So yeah, I'm the same, and it's a trophy and it's a proof to yourself before others, right? And I think
Yep.
it's also inspiring for other people. Some people hate it because they cannot reach that, but I think that's the woke mob mostly. And for winners, you actually love seeing people like you in Porsches because it's like, yeah, that guy fucking made it. Why couldn't I?
Yeah, I mean, like I couldn't have said it better myself. I don't know how like I didn't know there was like a negative stigma around people that are into cars or into like high end cars. But from all the friends that I have, and like, well, maybe I'm in a bubble, but like all my friends are also business owners. And whenever I see them succeeding or them getting like a new car or like a new house or maybe going like that vacation to the Maldives or something, where it's like, dude, that's freaking awesome. Like, I'm so happy for you. Like, tell me how was it so that way I can go or check it out, or tell me how that car is. Maybe I'll look into buying it. So like in my circle, it's very like winner mentality, but I can see from like a general perspective of like maybe the person next to me in like a Toyota Camry looking at me in my Porsche is like, man, look at that piece of like that guy is like probably a douchebag. But at the end of the day, like I worked hard to get this car. Like it's been on my bucket list and on my dream list for the longest time. And it just comes down to like how creative you are and putting the belief system in yourself to do the things that you need to do to get this specific reward. And if you can reverse engineer it and it's like, oh, I only need to sign another client or I need to do this much work to get this thing, then it becomes a lot easier. And it all comes down to like self-responsibility, I think.
Have you reached the hedonic treadmill part yet, in which buying new shit doesn't make you happy anymore?
No, I think like again, if I had a GT3 RS in my driveway, I'd be ecstatic. Like I think that'd make
I'd
me
be
super
fearful, one, for my life, and two, to break it because these things break all the time. Just like one pothole and it's over.
Yeah, yeah, the wheels are like $8,000 a piece. I mean, yeah, I will be a little bit afraid, maybe babying it until I get comfortable. I don't think I've reached the hedonic treadmill as far as like cars go, because I mean, you can get like a Bugatti for a couple $1 million, and that'll probably make me happy. I think on like where the hedonic treadmill comes in is maybe like food, like normal grocery food, where it's like I don't care as long as it's like organic or as long as it doesn't have any like BS in it. Like it doesn't matter to me. But I don't think I've yet reached that. I still need to make a couple more million.
Right. And your agencies are cool. I've ran them since the past decade. I started my first one almost the same time as you. They're great. They're like a laboratory. Obviously, they're nice cash cows as well to fund other more ambitious ventures. Have you scaled that to the max? Are you thinking to change business model eventually, maybe go SaaS, or are you just going to keep on running Aspect to the sky?
I think I'm gonna just keep running Aspect. Like I think the long term goal is to maybe pivot out of it in like 3 or 4 years. I still don't know what the end goal is. I think maybe replace myself at some point and just keep that cash cow running. Maybe transition into like executive coaching or something along those lines, because I do have a lot of I think like passion, and I like having the ability to help others out because I get like a I don't know. I get joy from whenever I'm talking to someone. I'm like, have you tried doing this or have you tried doing that? And like their faces light up and it's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like that gives me a lot of validation. So I think maybe that's another avenue I might pivot into after like an email agency, is something more, a little bit leaner where it's just myself and my time. but the profit margin is way higher.
Right. How are you leveraging AIs to maximize your profit margins and revenue nowadays?
Yeah, a lot of the day-to-day side on the email agency just comes down to like getting the right ideas for clients or getting the right campaign ideas to send out on the behalf of clients. So I think the biggest thing that AI has helped us out with is systemizing the idea creation based off of best performing campaigns in the past. Not regurgitating the same ideas, but more so like how can we take this exact like sale or promo period that worked really well and adjust it in a way where it's going to work well in like instead of January, it'll work in March. Maybe doing like tweaks there. Also, data analysis has been great of like identifying like, hey, this one had a low open rate. Maybe we should look into deliverability, or like, hey, this one had a great open rate but low click through rate. Let's see what we're doing above the fold to optimize. So little things like that. We haven't gotten to a point where like, hey, you just plug in your brand, we have all of your emails done. That's a work in progress. But I think in the meantime, just getting these little things where like it may have taken an extra hour or makes maybe an extra 2 hours out of a week to do, it speeds up that process and kind of helps our team focus on like what they're good at, which is like the designing and the copywriting side.
And the emails that you send for these D2C brands, how customized are they? Is it like, hey, saw that you went through XYZ product on my website, saw that you added this product to cart, I guess is really basic, right? Like what are impressive AI personalizations use case that you've been deploying for your clients?
So the thing with that is it's a little difficult to do with the main platform that we're using, which is Klaviyo. They have AI like writing or AI design, but it's not to the point where like we can personalize something about like, hey Charles out of Mexico, like do you love the beach? Like we can't really do that. Because it almost feels weird at that sense. Like, how do they know I live in Tennessee? Or like, how do they know I live in
Yeah,
Nashville?
the consumer level
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah, exactly. That would freak me out. I would be like, what the hell? So we haven't gotten to that point, but we have used AI to help with segmentation. So like segmenting audiences in different pockets where like we do have those abandonment series already done for like the personalization. Like if they abandoned checkout or looked at a product, we follow up with them. But more so on the segmentation, like, hey, they bought this beauty cream, they bought this moisturizer, like they're definitely like using our skincare routine. How can we amplify this and upsell them maybe like a sponge or like a new cleanser that they could use in their routine? So small things like that. We've used AI to help segment audiences, but not to like the individual personal level.
How have you modified your deliverability approach since 2020 when Google and Outlook started pretty much spamming everything?
A lot of it has come down to just having the right subscribers on board, and also making sure that people are opening up our emails, because this is one thing that most people don't know. Is if people aren't opening your emails, or like if you're sending too many, let's say like if you're sending 5 emails a week, no one's opening them, that's going to tell Google like, hey, no one's opening up your emails, you're irrelevant. And similar to how you have like the subscription inbox for your YouTube, it's not going to show that in your subscription inbox because it's not relevant. You're not opening it. Why would someone like, why would we take up that real estate? So keeping tabs on those kind of metrics like open rate, also making sure that we're excluding bad apples. So we have had spam traps subscribed to our clients list. We've had fake emails. We've had emails that constantly bounce, and making sure that they're excluded immediately helps a ton with kind of navigating like Google, Yahoo's Outlooks, and Apple's email privacy.
Right. And these brands, what do they pay you for on a monthly basis? What do you deliver exactly for them?
Yeah, great question. So they charge, or we charge them, an investment of anywhere between $4,000 to $6,000 per month. In that package, they get anywhere between 10 to 15 emails, sometimes even 20, depending on the scope. So the higher the scope, the higher the price per month. We basically charge on a per email per month basis. So if we need to add an extra email, the price goes up. If we need to subtract an email, the price goes down. And within that, we take care of the whole entire approach. It's a white glove service. So we do all the design, the copywriting, the setup, the strategy, the deliverability, deliverability monitoring and improvement, A/B testing of the copy, the design, and the setups. weekly reporting, and there's more that we do, but we basically handle the entire lot. Oh, and
A/B
SMS marketing.
testing, I would guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Analytics.
Yep.
Yeah. How is AI helpful on the analytics side of things? Because I feed it screenshots of results. I ask it a lot of questions, right? So how do you specifically use AI to analyze data and suggest better improvements? And what model do you use?
Yeah, we mainly use either ChatGPT or Claude. So like either 4.0 or I don't know exactly which one the Claudes are. Like I've not gotten that deep into Claude. But yeah, mainly using 4.0 to upload like a CSV of all the recent campaigns that we've sent out and seeing if there's any patterns that it picks up on that I can't or my team can't. And that helps us make a lot of decisions as far as like, let's say we have a welcome automation that's like the first email goes out immediately, the second email goes out a day later, and maybe you can spot a pattern of like, hey, there's a big disconnect between like the day test versus like waiting a few hours for the second email. So like that will help us make a decision of like, okay, even though the A/B test in Klaviyo is inconclusive, the AI can pick up that pattern of like, hey, there's more people opening up during this time, so let's switch to this time instead. So like in those kind of analytical decision making, the analytical decision making side, it helps a ton with like managing clients and spotting things that we may have missed.
What are your top goals this year with Aspect?
So okay, that's different because I have different top goals. I have like 3 goals on my personal side, but with Aspect, it's mainly getting at least another email marketing pod built out. So getting another senior a senior strategist on board, and then 2 more designers to help fulfill the load of what probably will be increased in like Q4 and Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Get that, and then break the $1 million run rate mark, basically. So we're getting close.
What about the personal goals?
Okay, let's see. I have them over here. Well, first, yeah, agency to 100K a month plus, so like million a year or $1.2 million. Visible abs, and then going to SEMA in November.
What's SEMA?
It's a convention in Las Vegas. It's one of the biggest like automotive conventions out there, and hopefully present my car at the show there.
Wow. So it's like, what makes you think that your car would be accepted for presentation? Have you modded it? Like, what have you done to it?
So my girlfriend and I are working on like this big project of rugifying the Porsche. So if you look up the rugdealer.co on Instagram, that's like the first thing you'll see. And it basically has the entire car is going to be wrapped in a rug pattern that looks like a wave flowing over it. So that's the goal, is to like get the car finished up and then bring it to SEMA.
Wow. And why is like rugging unique? Like no one does it. Would it like damage the paint on the current car? Like tell me a bit more about that.
Yeah, so we got the car wrapped. I'm going to keep the color secret because we haven't revealed it on Instagram yet. But we got the car wrapped, so it's going to be protected from the rug material. It's more so just like a creative museum piece that we're working on. There's no, like, at one point she was like, hey, I want to rug the car. I'm like, okay. And then we just started doing it. And it's been like a project we've been working on for 2 years now. So I don't know. It's just like, hey, can we do it? And then we tried it out. And it's like, yeah, it's definitely possible. And to your point, it's never been done before. So it's like, all right, that's a nice, unique factor that we can just work on.
That's very interesting. Tell me a bit more about your plans to use AI agents instead of employees, because you mentioned you want to hire 3 more. Do you feel that AI agents are at the current stage in which you could outsource it to an AI agent, have it done faster, better, cheaper instead of a human?
Good question. I don't think they're there yet, mainly because what I'm hiring for is mainly the design side. And yeah, with the new 4.0 updates and Google Gemini updates, like you can get way better image results of like, hey, here's one image, here's another, include these headlines, and use this other image for inspiration. The only unfortunate part about that is the revision side is almost like hell. So like if a client's like, hey, can we change the headline? It's going to spit out a completely different image, like through generative AI, that it doesn't look exactly the same. And that also brings down the quality side. Like we charge a very high premium because you're getting that human touch. And while I do understand like the innovation of AI, but the design side, I think, is going to be the last thing that's going to be cracked on the AI side, to where like it's indistinguishable between a human designer versus an AI designer. So that's the big thing. And the second thing is we are working on it. It's just taking a lot of time. I spent like countless of hours trying to figure out how N8N works, and it's still like a mystery to me on like most of its capabilities. The goal is also to hire like an AI implementer full-time for ASPEKT to help optimize some of those systems. So helping out with copy design, or helping out with copy design inspiration, as well as like client research, going deeper there. I think that's where the agent's going to shine versus like the design side.
Love it. Well, thanks for being on. Where can people find out more about you, Nikita?
Yeah, of course. So aspektagency.com, ASPEKT agency.com is our domain. So if you want to check it out and learn more about like email and SMS and how that works, and if you want to get an email audit for free, just there's like a button up top. LinkedIn, I post daily content, and then YouTube, I also post up weekly YouTube videos breaking down everything and anything email. And if you want to see my personals, just my name, Nikita Vakhrushev.
So that was Nikita and Charles for another